Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to explain the main strategies for the CELPIP reading section. The goal is simple. Read faster, avoid common traps, and choose the correct answer with more confidence. Reading is not only about knowing English words. In CELPIP, you need to know how to read strategically. You need to understand meaning, find evidence, recognize paraphrasing, and manage your time. The most important rule in CELPIP reading is do not follow words, follow the meaning. Many students search only for the same words in the passage and the answer choices. This is risky. Sometimes CELPIP uses the same words to trick you. Other times, the correct answer uses completely different words but has the same meaning. So, your focus should not be, did I see this exact word? Your focus should be, does this answer have the same meaning as the text? In every part of the reading test, you should read with a clear purpose. Do not read randomly. Do not choose an answer because it sounds familiar. For every answer, ask yourself, where is the proof in the text? If you cannot prove the answer from the passage, diagram, or message, then it is probably not the correct answer. CELPIP answers must be supported by the text, not by your personal opinion or outside knowledge. One useful technique in reading is mental visualization. This means you turn the text into a picture in your mind. For example, if the passage talks about a car moving quickly through a street, do not just remember the words. Imagine the car, the street, and the movement. This helps your brain remember the meaning better. It is especially useful when the passage has many details, different people, or different opinions. Now, we want to explain the reading part 1. The best method in part 1 is reading and answering paragraph by paragraph. Read the first paragraph, then quickly look at the questions and answer anything related to that paragraph. After that, move to the second paragraph and do the same thing until the end. This method saves time because you do not need to read the whole text many times. You read one section, answer the related questions, and move forward. After reading the first section, you will see the response to the message. This part depends on your understanding of the original message. So when you read the first message, do not read it too carelessly. You need to understand the situation, the purpose of the message, and the relationship between the people. When you answer the response section, go back to the original message when needed. Do not answer based on your feeling. The correct answer must match the original text. Notice that negative words change meaning. So in part 1, be careful with negative words. Words like not, never, unless, except, without, and cannot can completely change the meaning of a sentence. For example, you can attend the event and you cannot attend the event are totally different. CELPIP often uses these words to create traps. So when you see a negative word, slow down, for a second and make sure you understand the full sentence. In part 2, you usually work with a diagram, map, schedule, table, chart, notice, or advertisement. The first step is not to memorize everything. The first step is to understand the structure, then reading the whole article and answering. Ask yourself, what type of information is this? Where are the important sections? Is it organized by time, location, price, category, or rules? Once you understand the structure, it becomes much easier to find the answer. In part 2, the correct answer must be fully supported by the diagram or picture. This is very important. Sometimes an option looks correct, but it adds extra information that is not in the diagram. That answer is dangerous. Even if 80% of the answer is correct, but 20% is not mentioned or changes the meaning, you should not choose it. Only choose the answer that is completely supported. A very effective strategy in part 2 is elimination. Remove answers that are not supported. Remove answers that add extra details. Remove answers that only partially match. Remove answers that change the meaning. Sometimes you may not immediately see the correct answer, but when you remove the wrong options, the correct one becomes much clearer. Part 3 is very important because it tests your ability to understand synonyms and paraphrasing. The passage may say something in one way and the answer choice may say the same thing using different words. So again, do not only search for repeated keywords. Ask yourself, does this option carry the same meaning as the paragraph? This is the key skill in part 3. For part 3, use a paragraph by paragraph method, same as the strategy you used for part 1. Read paragraph A first, understand the main idea, then check all the questions and see which option matches paragraph A. Then move to paragraph B and do the same thing. Continue with paragraph C and paragraph D. Usually, if one option remains unmatched, that is the extra option. This method keeps your mind organized and reduces confusion. So the key strategy is matching paragraph by paragraph. In part 3, first impression is not enough. Sometimes an answer looks correct because it has similar words. But when you read carefully, the meaning is not the same. So before choosing, go back to the paragraph and check the full meaning. Do not choose based on one familiar word. The whole sentence or option must match the paragraph. Part 4 is different from the earlier parts. It is not only about finding information, it is about understanding viewpoints. You need to understand who supports an idea, who criticizes it, who agrees, who disagrees, and what the writer's attitude is. This part is more analytical. So your job is to understand the relationship between ideas, not just find similar words. In part 4, after each paragraph, quickly ask yourself, What is the role of this paragraph? Maybe paragraph 1 introduces the topic. Paragraph 2 supports the idea. Paragraph 3 criticizes it. Paragraph 4 gives a conclusion or another viewpoint. When you understand the role of each paragraph, the questions become much easier, especially questions in the second section. In part 4, contrast words are extremely important. Words like however, although, but, on the other hand, despite this, and in contrast, usually show a change in direction. For example, the writer may first explain a positive point and then use however to introduce a problem. If you miss this change, you may choose the opposite answer. So always pay attention to these words. Critic and opponent is in contrast with the viewpoint, but support and proponent are along with the main idea. Now, I want to bring you the main strategy for all 4 parts. Let's quickly review the full roadmap. For part 1, read paragraph by paragraph and prove your answer from the message. For part 2, understand the structure of the diagram first, then read the passage and search for the exact information in the diagram. For part 3, while reading paragraph by paragraph and proving your answer from the message, focus on meaning, synonyms, and paraphrasing. For part 4, read and understand the whole context after go through answering the questions. In this part, focus on viewpoints, attitudes, and the relationship between ideas. As you see, the strategy in part 1 and 3 are similar, while in 2 and 4 are also similar to each other. The main point is CELPIP reading is not about reading slowly. It is about reading strategically. You need to understand the task, know what to look for, find evidence, avoid keyword traps, and eliminate wrong answers. The more you practice with this method, the more automatic it comes. Now, the next step is practice. Take real CELPIP reading samples and apply this strategy part by part. Do not just answer questions randomly. Use the same method every time. Read with purpose, follow the meaning, prove your answers, and review your mistakes. This is how your reading score improves.